So a relationship breakdown is always a really difficult time. And I know that people can often be really nervous about speaking to a divorce lawyer. So maybe you could just tell us what they can expect from that first meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a time of uncertainty, and it might be the first time that somebody's engaging with a solicitor, may never have contacted a law firm before. So I think some of the initial steps to take are, do your research, look online. There's review websites out there, speak to family and friends to get a recommendation. And then typically you would contact the law firm and you'd book in for a first meeting with your chosen solicitor.
And what sort of topics would that first meeting usually cover then?
Yeah, so the first meeting, again, it will vary by firm to firm, but we would normally set aside an hour to an hour and a half to meet with a new client. And that meeting could take place face-to-face, or it could take place remotely by video call. And it's an opportunity to really understand the background, the situation that the client's presenting in. I'd take a detailed history of the relationship, the children, any health issues, so that I understand the whole context of this person's life.
Absolutely. And what sort of advice can a person expect to receive then from a first meeting with a divorce lawyer?
Yeah, so again, that will be tailored to the individual involved, so it will vary, but generally it will cover the divorce process, and we'll talk about the finances and how the financial assets can be divided on divorce, and we'll also talk quite high level at that early stage about what a fair and appropriate financial settlement might look like, given the circumstances. And if there are children to this family, then we might touch on children law advice as well. How are the arrangements for the children going to be sorted out, both now, we're going to have a nesting arrangement now, and in the future, once there are two homes for the children. And I guess we'll also talk about how we're going to move forward, how we're going to have this conversation and enter into a dialogue with your former spouse. Are we going to make a referral to a mediator to try and mediate the dispute? Am I going to write to your spouse to try and enter into that conversation? So yeah, lots of different topics.
It's probably worth also saying as well that we would usually talk about costs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the costs of instructing a divorce lawyer, the costs of mediation, which are usually cheaper than going down a contested divorce lawyer process, and then the costs of a court process if an agreement can't be reached.
Absolutely. It's a fact-finding mission, and I always try to set out the different options, bearing in mind the costs, and that's why I'll always talk about mediation. That's a good option for some people, so that they can leave our office in a much more informed position.